Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. And man, I miss Victory Monday. Victory Monday is so fun, but it's a doom of a Monday here on the channel today. Look, there's a lot to talk about. And people are talking about the Giants. And they are laughing. They are laughing at the New York Giants. Yesterday was one of the worst days in franchise history for an organization that is a blue blood and has been around for 100 years. John Mara said he will not sleep much if Saquon Barkley goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. My question to you, John Mara, is how much did you sleep last night after the Giants had their worst offensive game in franchise history and they gave up the most yards to a running back in 10 plus years? Man, Giants, I don't want to be up and down every single week because in my heart of hearts and in my football IQ, I still do believe the New York Giants are a good quarterback away from being a competitive team in this league. But yesterday was a clown show. Yesterday was a joke from Daboll to Jones to Shane Bowen to the offensive line to Joe Schoen to John Mara. Yesterday was rock bottom for the New York Giants, and we're going to break it down on today's show. But I know this, there are 213 die-hard New York Giants fans in the building right now. 230 die-hard Giants fans in the building right now. It's easy to be a fan of a football team when you're 5-2, when you're 4-3, when you're 3-1. But when you're 2-5, it's easy to quit on the year. And it fires me the hell up that there are 230 die-hard New York Giants fans in the building right now, ready for today's show. If you love the New York Football Giants, give me a real one roll call in the comments section. Let me know you're a real one. Because yesterday during our live stream, there were people saying they're going to go find a new team. And what I said is, if you find a new team, stay on that side. Because if you even think you need to find a new team, you don't bleed Giants blue. And I only want people that watch this channel to bleed Giants blue. And I know there are a bunch of people that rock and roll with this team, just like they do with this channel. That's why there are 270 people in the building after a game where the Giants scored 3 points, after 2 weeks where they scored 10 points, and people want to talk about it. The best fans in the National Football League are New York Giants fans. And I'll end my rant here. New York Giants fans, you deserve better. And you hold more power than you think. Keep leaving MetLife early. Keep not showing up. Keep selling your season tickets to the opposing team. And John Mara will have no choice but to make a decision that is going to help this team be better down the line. You hold more power than you think. Use it. Use it. I'm fired up today. I'm fired up. I'm pissed off. My team, our team, is letting me down, but we got shit to talk about. They are laughing at us in the national media. Bill Belichick just roasted Joe Schoen, and we're going to talk about it on today's show. Give me a real one if you're a real one. Shout out to Ty Man the Buckeye. What up, Jay Carter in the building. Luke Papa hanging out. What up? Shout out to everybody here. 300 people strong in the building. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Eric Cruz, what up, my man? Paul, what's going on? Serious Wasp in the building. Mr. C-Man, hanging out with the real ones. King Aries, Corey, too tough, too what? Too tough. What up, Corey? Golden Leo 16, Jennifer Tingle. Cha says, anyone still thinks Stafford is a bad idea? Huh. They're not laughing now, are they? They're not laughing now, are they? Brian, what up, kid? Just Blaze. Just Blaze? What up, dog? I bleed it because everyone asking if I'm still rocking, and I'm right here. If you're rocking with the New York Giants, like the video and type NYG in the chat. If you always ride or die for Big Blue, like the video and type NYG in the chat so I know who the real ones are. Rob Simpy says, real one, am still laughing. You got to laugh to hide from the pain. Dexter Lawrence was asked following the game, how do you feel about your 9 sacks in your season so far this year? And he said, well, it doesn't matter because we keep on losing. Ha, 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 ha. Players are fed up. They are fed up because they know that there are people on this team that don't give a rip like other people do, and they also know that they are playing handicapped and handcuffed on offense. Like the video and give me an NYG in the chat. We're about to get to 400 people in the chat. Let's make this the biggest live stream of the week on Giants YouTube. Hit that thumbs up icon. Share the video. It's a vent session on today's show. Smitty, he's in the building, and I'm fired up. I'm fired the hell up. I'm tired of watching the clown show and the circus that's keep happening at MetLife Stadium.
Listen, Giants fans should be embarrassed yesterday by what happened at MetLife Stadium. Plain and simple, embarrassed. You got clowned on by the guy who left you to the Philadelphia Eagles. And it should hurt. It should hurt what the Eagles did to the Giants yesterday. 28-3, another day where Daniel Jones does not score a touchdown in MetLife Stadium. In the time span that Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown at MetLife Stadium, Tim Boyle has a touchdown at MetLife Stadium.
Tim Boyle.
You should be embarrassed.
Tim Boyle and Desmond Ridder have more passing touchdowns at MetLife Stadium in the last 2 seasons. It is unreal. It is cruel, the product that John Mara is putting on that field every single Sunday. I've lowered my expectations from wins to a touchdown. 1 touchdown. That's all I want. 1 touchdown at home. I'm not even asking for wins anymore because I don't think that Daniel Jones can win games in the National Football League. You just can't. You have to change. Is Drew Lock better? I don't know. Can't be much worse.
You don't know either, though.
He can't be much worse, Smitty. They're averaging 5.5 points in the last 2 weeks. How's that EPA for Daniel Jones looking now? Everyone was hitting me with the EPA the first 4 weeks of the season. What's it now? Who gives a shit about EPA? He's 2-5. Get him the fuck off my football team.
5.
John Dottie in the building. What's
He
up, man?
agrees.
Hey, yo, John Dottie. Shout out to my man, John Dottie, $5 super chat. We appreciate you, my man. He says, I'll start things off. If Daniel Jones starts week 8, 2024, I want a new head coach week 1, 2025. Lock was a mistake, but you need to pivot. Take DJ out. Take him out back. Take him out back.
John Dottie.
He's done. Finished. Finito. It's over. Book is closed. There's no more pages left in the Daniel Jones book.
Yep.
The pen is out of ink. Throw them all away. Throw them all away. Get him off my team. It's embarrassing. And I'm embarrassed that people that watch this channel are still going to defend this fraud. He is stealing your time, your money, and he's messing my head up. It's messing my head up, man.
Listen, if you are a New York Giants fan, you should want success for the New York Giants. Aside from 1 season where he didn't even play all that great by the grand scheme of the NFL.
15 passing touchdowns.
He didn't even play all that great. What success has Daniel Jones brought the New York Giants? You should want the opposite of what Daniel Jones has brought the New York Giants, aside from 1 single season where his statistics didn't even match that of like an aging Peyton Manning.
And this is an organization that has Super Bowl rings. 4 of them. You've got them all in the last 50 years. You've seen a Hall of Fame quarterback play. And we're going to defend what he's doing? Is it all his fault? No. But the new question I'm asking, Smitty, is he the problem? Yes. Is he a part of the problem? Yes. Does he deserve all of the blame? No. But the most important question is this, Smitty. Is he the solution?
Absolutely.
Fuck no.
Not.
He is not the solution. So I don't care if the offensive line is bad. I don't care if the running backs are bad. I don't care if the tight ends, the receiver, the play caller, the receivers are too short. That's what they told me yesterday. Wan'Dale Robinson is too short for Daniel Jones to throw an accurate ball.
These comments, you should really hear yourself. Think before you type, because Daniel Jones is brainwashing you into thinking monstrosities.
It may not all be his fault, but when you make $46 million this year, the second most of any other player taking up the salary cap of the National Football League, if you're not a part of the solution, go figure out a solution. Because you will never, ever, 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 ever be a consistent winner with Daniel Jones as your quarterback. He is inept. He can't function in a modern-day offense that is considered explosive. Smitty, Dan Duggan of The Athletic, hats off to him. Best question of the press conference yesterday. He said, Brian Daboll, you have not been able to create explosive plays in 3 years for Daniel Jones. What gives you confidence that he can do it? That's the main part of this question, that he can do it. You know what Brian Daboll said? Well, we've got people around him that can do it. So Brian Daboll just told you, I have no confidence that Daniel Jones can do it, but I do have confidence in Malik Neighbors. I do have confidence in Darius Slayton. I do have confidence in Theo Johnson. I do have confidence in Tyrone Troisi, but I don't have confidence in Daniel Jones. If I have to say, Smitty, what gives you confidence that today's going to be a good show for Marshall Green? And you said, well, we're going to have a lot of people in the chat happy about it. No, your confidence needs to be off of my talent.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I'm over it, and I'm not going to blame anyone that doesn't want to watch anymore, because this is not what New York Giants football is about. This is what happens when you let it go too long, Smitty. It's been 6 freaking years. It has been 6 years. If you're not a part of the solution, move on. Just move on. Because I promise this. You know what Daboll said? We're going to try our very best we can, and back to the drawing board. The board's been drawn on for 6 years. You've never come up with an explosive offense. Move on. And if you don't move on, you're going to get moved on from.
That's the reality of the situation. Like, I hope Brian Daboll, in the back of his head, does not want to start Daniel Jones. Like, I hope that the man has some sanity in his head and doesn't believe the words that he said when he said Daniel Jones gives us the best opportunity to win.
I am praying that Brian Daboll is trying to stick it to John Mara. That's my prayer. That is my hope. And that is what I want to believe is happening. Because I know Brian Daboll knows football.
Yeah.
That guy is a good coach. He's in a shitty situation right now. I don't think there's any NFL coach that can get more out of this roster right now than Brian Daboll is.
He took Daniel Jones to the postseason already.
Yep. And I will say that the Giants cannot afford to let Daniel Jones run any more talented people out of this building. I agreed that Saquon Barkley, not resigning was the right decision. I still think it was the right decision to let him go. But Daniel Jones made you run Saquon Barkley out of the building. Daniel Jones made you run Xavier McKinney out of the building. He's made you run coach after coach after coach, after draft pick after draft pick after draft pick, after head coach, after offensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. You gave him an $80 million receiver in Kenny Golladay. You tried to trade for a good tight end. You've tried everything to fix the house except for the foundation. I don't care if you get new windows. I don't care if you get good carpet. I don't care if you get a new couch or a new TV. The house has an infrastructure problem. It's the foundation. And the foundation of the New York Football Giants is a joke right now. It's a fucking joke.
I mean, we can't even get mad anymore. We're just done. We're just done.
He's running fans out of the building. Mr. Rick, did you see the picture we put on the show earlier today? There was maybe 1,000 people left, and 900 of them were Eagles fans with 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. You've got a car with a broken engine. You've tried a new sound system. You've tried new window wipers. You went from cloth to leather seats. You now have nice tinted windows. But if your car's engine does not work, it's time to move on. And that check engine light, it's been on for 6 seasons. Yep. Joey DeLuca, I appreciate you tuning in, my man. Shout out to everybody in the building. 500 people strong. Hit that thumbs up icon. And if you're still rocking and rolling with the New York Giants, give me an NYG in the chat. Mark Estrada, what up, man? $5 super chat. People wanting to fire Daboll, but I really believe it's all Mara and his old age. I believe Brian Daboll can be a good NFL coach. I do believe that. Do I think he's a perfect head coach? No. Do I think that he should be on the hot seat? Yes. But I'm not letting Daniel Jones run out another talented individual from this organization. I need 1 year of Brian Daboll with someone that doesn't handicap his offense. Give me 1 year. Give me 1 year. Maybe you don't draft a quarterback at 2025 and you go out and you add a veteran quarterback. I cannot let this team, and it's not even this team, It's Daniel Jones. I can't have him run out another talented individual. I'm fed up with Joe Schoen, and we'll talk about Joe Schoen in a second. I got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But I believe that Brian Daboll is a good football mind. Because you know what he did? Smitty told you. He got Daniel Jones to the playoffs. Everyone close your eyes and ask yourself how impressive it is that Daniel Jones got to the playoffs because of his head coach. Do you know how hard that is? So hard that it happened one time in 6 years.
Yep. That
enough should help you want, or should make you want to believe that Brian Daboll is the right guy.
And the players that you had healthy that year, when Saquon Barkley's missed all this time and he's an aging running back, he's healthy that year. Xavier McKinney's healthy that year. They have 2 of the best years of their careers. What happens when they don't? What happens when you don't have those players? You get the results, and you pay Daniel Jones. You get the results that we've seen the past 2 weeks. The Giants have scored 5 points on average.
5.5 points per game the last 2 weeks.
They scored 8 points or 7 points last week?
7.
Yeah,
7 plus 3, 10, 5.5.
Just 5.
Oh, just 5.
Yeah,
just 5.
You're giving him,
I'm giving him too much credit. 5.5 points is too much credit.
It's unbelievable.
I'm freaking out. I held it in yesterday. I was emotionally drained. I got time today. If you're a Daniel Jones fan, show your face. Because being a Daniel Jones fan, and I can't believe I'm about to say this because I hate people that say this, being a Daniel Jones fan and a supporter means that you don't want what's best for this organization. It has gotten to that point.
I made that pretty clear. I mean, I don't believe that at all. I think, how could you root for Daniel Jones and want the best for this team?
It's not even rooting for Daniel Jones. I'm going to root for him when he's out there.
Sure.
But I'm not going to defend his bad play. I'm not going to demand that he gets another year, that I demand that he should play. That it's not his fault. It is his fault. He's a part of the problem. But more importantly, he's not the solution. So move the hell on. It's that simple. It's year 6, Smitty. If you're in a relationship for year 6 and 6 years, and you still are going back and forth, and you realize that she or he or whatever you do is not the answer, what do? You move on. You don't double down. And they continue to do it. We'll just fix the windows. We'll just fix the AC. We'll just get a new couch. We'll get new carpet. We'll paint the house. The infrastructure is the problem. Militia Zero, $5 super chat. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to all 550 people in the building. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon and give me an NYG in the chat. Says they are going to keep using Jones unless injured till next season. Unfortunately, however, he better not be there next season as a starter.
Oh, he won't be.
If Joe Schoen is the general manager of this team next year and he believes that he's supposed to be the GM, and he thinks that keeping Daniel Jones is the right move, I hope they fire him on the spot. I have never believed that John Mara is pushing Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll to play Daniel Jones, but it has to be because Brian Daboll knows it's
Brian Daboll knows.
He knows. Go watch the press conference from yesterday. He knows. He was asked, did you think about benching Daniel Jones at the start of the game? And he goes, yeah, well no, but yeah, no, the score didn't get out. He can't speak. He's a broken human being. Daniel Jones killed Brian Daboll. Marty, what up, man? I'm closing the DJ book. Give me Tommy chicken cutlets Parmesan. I know there's a lot of Tommy DeVito fans that are New York Giants fans, and I get all the reasoning behind it. Drew Lock is a better quarterback than Tommy DeVito, and he should play. And I know that's going to upset some people, but it's just a fact. Drew Lock is a better quarterback than Tommy DeVito. You pay Drew Lock, give him a chance. The 2 throws we saw from Lock yesterday, the one that should have been caught by Hyatt, was the best throw I've seen out of a Giants quarterback in 3 weeks. He threw the ball more downfield on 8 attempts than Daniel Jones did in the whole game. He hit Jalen Hyatt right here on the hands. He almost snuck in a cover 2 hole shot to Malik Neighbors. He's at least trying to throw the ball downfield. He's at least trying. Kelvin, it's been 6.5 years, boss.
Probably was a thumbs up to the stream.
He said salute to the stream.
Salute.
Calvin, I appreciate the love, my man. I didn't even think I was going to come up here and do this today. I didn't want to do this today, but I don't know, man. I just got fired up out of nowhere. You guys deserve better. That's what pisses me off the most. You, diehard Giants fans, deserve better. That's what fucking pisses me off. Sorry for cussing. I won't stop. Kawa suck me. What a name. $5 super chat. Do you think the lack of run game yesterday was the team's idea if seeing DJ could hold his own and find out if he was really a playmaker? I have gone back and forth with this.
It's a good question, actually.
It's a great question. And what I would say is the other side of this coin is the Giants didn't call any runs because they thought Daniel Jones could operate the offense. He failed yet again. Maybe they thought that the Giants' offensive line without Andrew Thomas could be better in pass protection than run blocking. Brian Daboll came out and aired it out in the first half. He thought that was the best plan of action. Or he's trying to send a message to John Mayer saying that this guy is not it. I don't know which one it is. I hope it's the latter, because I believe that Brian Daboll knows that Daniel Jones is handcuffing this football team and he's putting his job on the line. So what is Brian Daboll trying to do? To show the guy that's deciding his job and his future that I'm not the problem. It's the guy that you paid and called it the next Eli Manning. That's the problem. I don't know. I can't make sense of it. Because anybody that's ever watched football, anyone that has ever, you got people quitting. You got people not wanting to play for you anymore. Like, at some point, we just all need to realize, and I think we are all at this point, that the problem, the biggest problem, but most importantly, the guy that's not the solution is the one that continues to start a quarterback. Brian Daboll goes to the media today. Daniel Jones our starter for week 8. Daniel Jones our starter for week 8. You better hope your offensive line protects better because Highsmith and Watt are coming off the edge. Did you watch Monday Night Football? Daniel Jones may get hurt on Monday. And if he gets hurt, this team's cooked for a couple of years. Mike G, what up, man? Marsh, you see these silly mocks of a running back, they've been telling me to do mock drafts. I can't do it. I care too much about this season. I don't care if the season's lost. There's a lot to talk about. And right now, I don't think mock drafts is that. But yes, drafting Ashton Genty in the first round is a joke. And it's not because he's not worthy of a first-round pick. It's because you don't have a quarterback. Hope you had a great day. Thank you, Mike G. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Shout out Mike G.
Mike G. Guy hits stingers. He's like John Carlos Stanton.
That's
All
right.
he does is hit postseason dingers. Jay Carter, what up, dog? This is New York Giants' leg of legacy. Over 18 Giants tatted signs on my leg. I will never leave this team. But it's time for a little bit of this. Tommy will get the spark back in the building. I would rather see Tommy DeVito play than Daniel Jones, but I want to see Drew Lock play. I'm cool with anybody but DJ, but I think that Drew Lock should play above Tommy DeVito. That's just my take. Anthony, what up, dog? $2 super chat. Appreciate the love, my man. Thanks for being here. Let's go, Giants. Mano, FN, $5 super chat. Thank you for the love, my man. I just don't understand it. Trade for a Stafford. Yeah, this season is 2-5, but the team has crazy talent. Is missing a one piece, and that is at the QB.
Midseason trade would be very hard.
Yeah, I think, and we said this in the video, I don't think a midseason trade for Stafford makes all that much sense. But what about in February? What about in March? What about before the draft? I wouldn't roll your eyes at a trade for a quarterback this offseason. I think Stafford makes the most sense. Mr. Rick says, I'd rather see Roley play quarterback over Daniel Jones. I'd rather the Giants just run Wildcat every play. It's over. It is over. The book of Daniel Jones as a Giant has come to the final chapter. It has come to the final page. It is over. It's over. You already benched him. Threw 99 yards yesterday. 99 yards. 99 yards. 99 yards.
The Big Moo.
The Big Moo, what up, man? Thank you for the love. Says, who are you watching on Monday night? The Giants getting killed in Pittsburgh or the New York Yankees playing home in the World Series? Oh. We'll be live on the channel. We'll be live on this channel. We'll have a TV on. We'll be talking Yanks as well, but we're going to be covering the New York Giants. We'll be doing the Giants game on Monday night. Can't wait. Can't wait.
The game's in Pittsburgh too, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
The spread at one point yesterday was 3.5. It's now 6. Has a
Oh,
line ever switched that much in less than 24 hours? The
On
day after
an
a
NFL
Sunday?
game, yeah.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous, man.
Shout out to
Ridiculous.
everybody in the building. Make sure you have hit that thumbs up icon. Over 500 people rocking with us. If you're ride or die for Big Blue, if you love the New York Football Giants, hit the like button for us. We're going to talk about Joe Schoen, a very prestigious individual that ripped him a new one. Also, going to rip a Q&A mailbag later as well. Use hashtag Giants to get on the show or Super Chat. That's the only way that your question automatically gets on screen for that mailbag segment of this week.
We are going to do a mailbag to close today's show, and I just like it to be a vent session for all the people out there. Hashtag Giants to get your question into the queue. And if you want to guarantee your question on today's mailbag video, will go out on the channel this week. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Super Chats are going to guarantee your spot for the mailbag. Rob Sippy, what up, man? He says, you think I can sneak a sign in that say we love Giants now by Chat Sports, the Pittsburgh game? That would be electric.
That'd be so cool.
That would be electric. If you do that and you send a picture, I might just make it my profile picture on all social media sites.
Ooh.
Shout out to Mr. Rick and his awesome wife. She wore Chat Sports gear to the Giants game on Sunday. My mother is calling me. What could that be about? Yeah, live Q&A, mailbag coming up. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat to get on today's show. Jamil the King says, I'm not watching any more games. I'm over it, Marsh. Yeah, look, I'm not going to be mad at anyone that's done with the season. I'll be here every game. I'll be here every week. I'll give you my raw, unfiltered, honest opinion. But, look, there's a lot of people that feel like Jamel. And there's an obvious reason as to why. 500 people in the building, 226 likes. If you could, hit that thumbs up icon. Once we get to 300 likes, we'll start today's show.
Ooh.
And we're talking about what Bill Belichick, John Mayer, and the future of the New York Giants. First segment. We already did a video ripping Daniel Jones this morning. I can't spend any more of my energy ripping him. I'll do it, but I just can't do it. I just don't want to do it. Gus Nini, I did see that video. That was from a couple weeks ago. I think that was actually from after the first game of the season. Basil Champ, what's up, big dog? Is it time for the Giants to go on a fire sale? What do you mean by a fire sale exactly? Like trading players at the deadline? Being a seller? They should absolutely trade Darius Slayton. Why would you re-sign Darius Slayton? He can't catch the football.
He's Daniel Jones' best friend.
Misery loves company. If someone offered me a third-round pick, I would trade Azeez Ojulari, but I don't know if I would trade him for a fourth. But then it would just, then my next question would just be, is John Mara and Joe Schoen going to pay Azeez Ojulari to come back? That's a question you got to ask. Do we want Azeez Ojulari as a long-term piece of this football team? I believe the answer should be yes. But knowing the way that Joe Schoen operates, when he let Saquon Barkley leave for nothing, when he let Xavier McKinney leave for nothing, he'll probably let Azeez Ojulari leave for nothing too. I'd trade him for a second-round pick. I'd trade him for a third-round pick. But I also love the idea of keeping him because he's a 24-year-old pass rusher that anytime he plays, he produces. Health is a worry spot for me on him. But as a situational pass rusher, you need that guy. Yeah. That's my thoughts on that. Thunder with getting a question in. Shout out to Stephen Blenis getting a question in. Hawkissimo got a question in. Raymond Azab, $2 super chat says, I hope Mara I'm not sure we could put that up on stream, but that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Bryce getting a question in. What's up, Brody? Thunder says, did Neighbors seem disgruntled already? I mean, he told the media he was open. Yeah, I do think he's upset. And honestly hate the fact that he said that. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. But at the end of the day, he's trying to go out there and be good with Daniel Jones. But I don't like Malik Neighbors going out there and saying that it's not my fault. I'm open. I don't know. Anthony, what's up, homie? $10 super chat. Thank you, my man. Says he needs wide receivers. Got him. He needs O-line. Got it. Defense needs to play better. Okay, done. But he still can score 5 points. Jones doesn't have it. Whatever it is. Locke almost hit the long ball. Anthony, you missed the most important thing. He needs a defense that pitches shutouts every week. And then maybe he could be an average quarterback. Smitty said it last week on the show. He needs to be in a utopia.
Utopia. Perfect environment. There is no flaws. He is like...
Serious question to everybody watching, to you, Smitty. What team could you put Daniel Jones on right now and they'd be a playoff team? Is there a team in the National Football League that if you replace the starting quarterback from Team B, you add Daniel Jones and they are a playoff team? Is there a team in the NFL? Chiefs would be the worst team in the NFL with Daniel Jones.
The San Francisco 49ers are 3-4 with Brock Purdy right now.
San Francisco 49ers are 3-4. Just
Baltimore Ravens, no. Absolutely not, because Baltimore Ravens need a mobile quarterback. I mean, one that doesn't – I mean, I guess Daniel Jones is mobile, but he doesn't run. He really doesn't run too much.
Would the Washington Commanders be in first place in the NFCs with Daniel Jones?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Would the Detroit Lions be in the playoffs with Daniel Jones?
That is one of the better situations that you could put Jones in, and I still don't think he would do close to what Goff does.
Considering also the teams in their division are 5-1 and 5-2.
Correct. So
and 4-2.
Nobody in the NFC North.
Are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a playoff team with Daniel Jones?
No, absolutely not.
Are the Seattle Seahawks a playoff team?
Absolutely
with
not.
Daniel Jones?
They might not be right now.
Let's go to the AFC. Buffalo Bills?
Nope.
No. Pittsburgh Steelers?
Nope.
No. Houston Texans?
Nope.
No. Kansas City Chiefs? No. He can't even go play on the best team in the league, and they would be in the playoffs. I remember I did a video in the offseason, and everyone laughed at me. You can go find it on a YouTube short, and I said, What team in the National Football League prior to the NFL draft would have picked up Daniel Jones and have him play for free and be their starter? There is none. There is no team in the NFL right now that would trade their starter for Daniel Jones.
Not one.
There's not a single team. There's not a single team. But hey, he had a good playoff game against a defensive coordinator who has still not got a job in the NFL. Ridiculous.
Joke.
Kelvin, what up, homie? Kind of want a stopgap QB for Arch in the future. Did we watch that game? Arch has a noodle arm.
Yeah.
Arch Manning has a noodle arm. His last name was Jackson. I don't think that people would think he's a good quarterback. I get it. Manning, Giants, 2 Super Bowls. But if you watch the game, the guy can't throw. He tried to throw an over route to a receiver. It looked like Daniel Jones. I get it. We're going to be attached to him because the name. I'm not that big of a fan of Arch Manning. More can happen. We've seen limited action. Just my take on that. Tanner Littman. What's up, man? You lit, man? Marsh, use your QB1 in the draft, Cam Ward. I said it after week 0. I'm saying it now. I said it 2 months ago. It's Cam Ward. Ward in the first.
I don't know those cats.
Yeah, I haven't done as much work on the draft at this point. But yeah, Cam Ward is my QB1, and there's a large gap. I said it 3 weeks ago on the channel. We did a video, targets for 2025. I had Cam Ward 1, and I said there was a gap in between. I think the gap is growing. And it's not because the other quarterbacks aren't good. It's because Cam Ward is legit. He is. Pandemonium, what's up, man? Hey, Marshall, how film do you watch? And I don't mean highlights. How do I watch film? We pay for a subscription here at Chat Sports. I think that's a question he's asking.
Yeah, I think that is the question.
We pay for the All 22 film. So when I get into work Monday morning, I watch the All 22 film again. That's what I do. All righty.
All right.
Let's jump into it. 530 people watching. If everyone could take 1 second to hit that thumbs up icon, please do so. If you have liked the video, type NYG in the chat so I know who the real ones are. All righty. This is DK. Okay. Have you come on again for the picks? Cool. All righty. 12 likes away from 300 likes. If you could, hit that thumbs up icon. Make sure when you push the video across, if you have to auto play it. Let's go, let's go. 500 watching, 299 likes. Who's going to be the 300th like of the video? 300 like the video. Who's it going to be? All righty. Bill Belichick went on the Pat McAfee show. I believe he was preaching to John Mara to say, I could do a better job than who you've got in-house. And he ripped Joe Schoen, and he pretty much said, you are an amateur. Let's talk about it. Bill Belichick went on the Pat McAfee show and ripped Joe Schoen. He all but said, you are in over your head, and you are an amateur. And I also think that he wanted to let John Mara know that I can do his job better than he can, and I should be your next general manager and head coach. Before we dive into the quotes and I give you my thoughts on what Bill said, my question to you is this. Should the New York Giants clean house yet again? Should they fire Brian Daboll? Should they fire Joe Schoen? Or should they keep him? F for fire, K for keep. Sound off in the comments section. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by and everybody that keeps clicking on these videos. With the New York Giants at 2-5 on the season, it's easy to quit. It's easy to punt on the season as a fan. But I know that there are diehard New York Giants fans that watch this channel, and that's why we're going to continue to give you free updates every single day on this football team. Bill Belichick, he ripped Joe Schoen. Let's just go right to the quotes. He said, it looked like in Hard Knocks. I mean, I don't think Daboll wanted to get rid of Saquon, and I certainly don't think John Mara wanted to get rid of Saquon. I mean, this seemed like, kind of a Joe Schoen general manager thing. He didn't think anybody would pay him when kind of everybody in the league knew that he was going to go to the Eagles. AKA, Bill Belichick thinks that Joe Schoen is an amateur. Bill Belichick thinks that Joe Schoen is in over his head. Bill Belichick knows that Joe Schoen is a flawed general manager. Joe Schoen thought he was the smartest person in the room, forecasting that nobody would pay Saquon Barkley. He got paid more money than anybody had offered him from the Giants in 3 hours of free agency opening. Whether you think the decision was right, whether you think the decision was wrong, the only person that is 100% sure wrong is Joe Schoen in the market that he had projected for Saquon Barkley. More quotes from Bill Belichick. The thing I don't really understand, Barkley was their best player, For a couple $1 million more, they could have kept him. I guess, instead they got a guard or somebody. I don't know. The offensive line doesn't look very good. I mean, they're playing a guy at left tackle who shouldn't be playing left tackle. Evan Neal was drafted in the first round. He doesn't play. They have some free agent guards that are pretty suspect. It's a tough line. And honestly, I thought, the quarterback is trying to hang in there. It's just It's been tough sledding. You know what that was? That was pandering. That was catering. You know what Bill Belichick should have said? John Mara, I know you love me, and my job is to come back and work for you, and I can do a better job than Brian Daboll, but more importantly, I could do a better job than your general manager. And I am only going to come work for the Giants as if I have total control. If I'm the head coach and if I am the general manager. He is catering to John Mara here. How do I know that? John Mara didn't want to lose Saquon Barkley. What did Bill Belichick say? I want to keep Saquon Barkley. Bill Belichick wants to keep Daniel Jones. He doesn't want Daniel Jones to be, or John Mara wants to keep Daniel Jones. He doesn't want him to be the scapegoat. What has Bill Belichick said? At least the quarterback is hanging in there. Everyone is laughing at the New York Giants for what happened on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. They are laughing because Saquon Barkley returned to MetLife Stadium in an Eagles uniform, and he took a dump on Joe Schoen. He took a dump on him and said, I was right, you were wrong, ha, ha, ha. Look, I still believe that letting Saquon Barkley go and not paying him that contract was the right decision. And I do think overall that Joe Schoen had a solid offseason, but not perfect. And some of the things he did and did not do were extremely questionable. And we're going to break them all down on today's show. But before we do, my question to you is this. Who would you rather have as the general manager of this football team going forward? Is it Joe Schoen? Is it Bill Belichick? Type the initials of the guy you want making the calls for this organization. I'm not 100% convinced that Joe Schoen is the right general manager for this football team. I'm also 100% not convinced that he is the wrong guy for this. But I do have my questions about Joe Schoen going forward. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But first, I got to give a major shout out to a brand new sponsor on today's show, DraftKings. As you guys know, I also host our New York Knicks channel here at Chat Sports. This ad is going to primarily be driven on Knicks Now, but I also wanted you guys to get in on the fun. And you can do that by using the promo code KnicksChat. And when you play and bet $5, you're going to get $200 instantly. The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KnicksChat. That's code KnicksChat for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/BBALL. Shout out to DraftKings, and with the NBA opening tonight with my Knicks versus Smitty Celtics, he's got a same game parlay. I'm going to say fade him. Smitty, I don't love what you got, brother.
Plus 700, $20 wins 160 on DraftKings. I think the Celtics are the better team. Give me the money line for them to win this game outright. I also think they're going to come out hot on ring night. Give me them to win the race to 10. I also got Jason Tatum, 9+ rebounds. No Porzingis. They're going to need him crashing the glass. Jalen Brunson, one of the best shot creators in this league. They're going to need a lot from him on New York's side. Give me 25+ points. And then Sam Hauser off the bench. Give me a burst. Over 1.5 threes. $20 pays 160 plus 700. Ride with Smitty's same game parlay. We're hitting first night of the NBA season.
Roll with Smitty. Fade Smitty. Shout out to DraftKings. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. If I could speak to John Mara, this is what I would say. If Joe Schoen is on the hot seat in your mind entering the 2025 NFL season, move on once the 2024 season is over. Because there is going to be a quarterback added to this roster, most likely in the NFL draft. And I don't want you should not allow John Mara, you should not allow Joe Schoen to pick that quarterback in 2025 if you are a bad season in 2025 away from firing. What I'm trying to say is the guy that picks the next quarterback in the draft for the New York Giants should be that quarterback's general manager for at minimum the first 2 years of his career. There needs to be some stability, and there needs to be structure. And if you're just going to let Joe Schoen draft the guy, and then you're going to fire him after 1 year, that means head coach number 2, offensive coordinator number 2, general manager number 2. Make sure the guy who is going to draft the quarterback this year is the guy for the future. I don't know if it's John Mara. I don't know if it's Joe Schoen. I'm 50-50. Look, I love some of the things he did this offseason. I loved the Brian Burns trade. You would not have been able to get Saquon Barkley back and keep Brian Burns. So what did Joe Schoen do? He essentially chose Brian Burns over Saquon Barkley. I would do that every single day of the week. That's why I still think letting Barkley go was the move. Now, was not offering Saquon Barkley a franchise tag the wrong decision? Maybe. Was not getting a deal last year done wrong? Maybe. But with everything that happened and got us up to the point right before free agency started, I still think letting Barkley go was the right move. Stuff that happened before that, I cannot say I agreed with. I also love the Jermaine Illuminor signing. I told you guys 2 months before it happened he was going to be a New York Giant, and the day he signed with the Giants, I told you he was going to be the best lineman the Giants signed in free agency. They also added John Runyon. And I told you guys when they signed John Runyon, I didn't love it. I believed that it was $10 million was too expensive for John Runyon. I said that in the moment, Jermaine Illuminor was better than John Runyon. He is. And now we've got Bill Belichick, who I think knows a little bit about football, especially trench work, pretty much telling you that John Runyon is no good. There was also no real QB competition this summer. And I have a problem with that. I do. Because, and my dad always says this, what did you want them to do, Marshall? They were stuck with Daniel Jones. No, they weren't. There are 3 quarterbacks they could have signed that all have winning records and have their team in the playoffs right now. You passed on Sam Darnold. He whooped your ass at home in week 1. You passed on Russell Wilson. He just looked good on Sunday Night Football, and he's probably going to look pretty good on Monday Night Football. You passed on trading for Justin Fields. He had the Steelers at 4-2. You can't just say, what did you want them to do because they did nothing. These are 3 moves. All these quarterbacks are better than Daniel Jones. You did give Drew Lock $5 million, but he didn't take 1 rep in training camp with the first team. He didn't take 1 rep in preseason with the first team. You said to Russell Wilson, you're not going to just be gifted the starting job over Daniel Jones. You're going to have to beat him out. And you didn't draft a quarterback. You did a fake try on Hard Knocks because you still believed he was the guy. You let Xavier McKinney leave for nothing. Do I think they should have paid Xavier McKinney all that money? Maybe. Potentially. But if you didn't have any intention on signing him, why didn't you trade him at the trade deadline like you did with Leonard Williams? You also had no plan for CB2 and defensive tackle number 2 all summer long. How many times did Marshall Green on YouTube come up here and say, Giants have no plan at CB2. The Giants have no plan at defensive tackle 2. How many times? If I can see it, they need to see it. And then let's start with the draft classes. 2022 might go down as one of the worst draft classes in NFL history that featured 4 picks inside the top 67. Kayvon Thibodeau, I think, is a good player. Evan Neal's a bust. Wan'Dale Robinson at pick 43 over George Pickens, bad pick. Joshua Azudu at pick 67 cannot even play. Bill Belichick said he's not a left tackle. Cordell Flott in round 3, non-starter. Daniel Bellinger, not even a part of this football team anymore. Dane Belton doesn't play. Good pick by Micah McFadden. DJ Davidson, irrelevant. Marcus McKeithen, off the roster. So out of 10 picks from 2022, you have 1 player in Kayvon Thibodeau. You have a depth piece at wide receiver in Wan'Dale Robinson, a 5'8" slot merchant. And you have a rotational linebacker who is limited, but a really good pick at 146. What about 2023? Deontay Banks stinks. He's got piss poor attitude. He can't cover, and he's a lousy teammate that gives up on his team. You drafted Deontay Banks over Joey Porter Jr. You traded up for Deontay Banks over Joey Porter Jr. John Michael Schmitz, he's ranked as the 31st best center in the NFL. Jalen Hyatt, I believe in him, but it's been a terrible 2 years for him. Eric Gray is a joke. Trey Hawkins doesn't play. Jordan Riley doesn't play. You already cut Javarius Owens. You traded up for Banks over Joey Porter Jr. You traded up for Jalen Hyatt. It did not work. I hate the 2022 class, and I hate the 2023 class. I love the 2024 class, though. That's what Joe Schoen does. He misses, he misses, he hits. And maybe the misses need to be more loud. But, man, this 2024 class is awesome. Neighbors, stud, Newbin, I believe a good player. Home run pick by Drew Phillips. Theo Johnson's got talent. Tyrone Tracy's got talent. And Muasau, at minimum, is going to be a special teams contributor for a while. But maybe the cherry on top that we all just need to process when it comes to, is Joe Schoen the right guy moving forward? It's this. He gave Daniel Jones $92 million guaranteed. He gave $92 million guaranteed. $92 million guaranteed to Daniel Jones. And maybe that should just be the answer. You ask yourself, is Joe Schoen the right guy? Marshall, he gave Daniel Jones $92 million. He thought he was the smartest in the room. And I tweeted this out a couple of months ago, and I got ridiculed on Twitter. I said, I feel like Joe Schoen carries himself in a way that he thinks he's better than everybody else. He speaks down to people. Joe Schoen suffers from thinking he is the smartest in the room. He thought nobody would pay Saquon Barkley. They did. And he just beat your ass at your home stadium. He thought that giving Daniel Jones a contract that no other team gave him would have been a smart decision. Whether that's because John Mara made him or not. You know what? Your general manager just got your team to the playoffs and won a playoff game. If your head coach or if your owner tells you to do something you don't like it, quit. Or your name is going to be forever attached to this. And you'll never be a GM in the league again. He suffers from thinking he is the smartest in the room. Anytime. And that's how, I feel very confident about saying that because I watched Hard Knocks. We got inside access. Anytime he talked about Daniel Jones, what did the assistant general manager do? What did Brian Daboll do? What about when they said, I don't think Saquon's going to get paid? What the pro personnel people do? No one agreed with him. I don't know. Should the Giants clean house? Should the Giants clean house? There's a lot of things I like he did. I saw the vision this offseason. Don't pay premium dollars to non-premium positions. Halfback and safety. Then reallocate that money to a pass rusher. I love that. Then you go get a right tackle. I love that. You overpaid for running. I said it in the moment. I'm F for fire, K for keep. I am legitimately on the fence. I am riding the shit out of the fence right now. And maybe I'm scared to make a decision. I got 1 foot out and 1 in on Joe Schoen. But I think the question I just got to ask is, do I trust Joe Schoen to get the quarterback right? He gave Daniel Jones $92 million guaranteed. Maybe that's the answer. Follow me on Twitter, @MarshallGreen_, Instagram, @MarshallGreen_. I'm not saying Bill Belichick could do a better job, but man, I think he knows a little bit about football, and I'm going to listen to his critiques because they are all valid.
The Giants clean house. Is Joe Schoen not the guy? What is your take? Let us know in the chat. F for fire, K for keep. A lot of people seem to think he should go.
I really don't know. I really don't know.
It is not very common where you keep a coach and fire a GM, and that is an unfortunate reality because I think Brian Daboll can be a good football coach, and I think he could be a good football coach for the New York Giants. I don't think it's Brian Daboll's decision to continue to try out Daniel Jones. And from Joe Schoen's standpoint, it should not be either. From a financial standpoint, caring about this team, you should not want to continue to try out Daniel Jones.
So you think John Mayer's like play him?
Yeah, I do. Maybe that makes me a conspiracy theorist with the tinfoil hat, but
I have a hard time not accepting that reality. Because to my core, I know Brian Daboll knows football.
brings up a good question here from Pandemonium. I mean, like, what do you think of Brian Daboll's play calling? You think it's handicapped usually?
I think that he is calling plays left-handed. He is calling plays left-handed. He is limited with his quarterback. He knows that there are certain things the Giants can't do that he wants to do with Daniel Jones. Is Brian Daboll perfect? Not at all. Is Brian Daboll blame-free? Not at all. Has Brian Daboll been a great play caller this year? Not at all. But just like I got to see Daniel Jones with 3 coaches and 5 offensive coordinators in over 20 offensive line combinations, can I see Brian Daboll with a quarterback that maybe raises the level of success for a football team? Like, am I going to let Daniel Jones kill off someone that I believe is smart? And I've called for Brian Daboll's job before. I sometimes think that he's unorganized. I sometimes think that he lets his locker room a little too loose. I sometimes think that he lets players be players too much. But I do believe that he could be a head coach of a consistently good and winning football team. I can't say the same about Daniel Jones.
Mike F., what up? $20 super chat.
Mike F., what's up, homie? Says after Hard Knocks, thank you for the love and thank you for being here. 3rd season in a row, my guy. That's love. Says after Hard Knocks, it's hard to have Joe Schoen around. I agree with Bill Belichick, but with DJ as the QB, the 85 Bears couldn't win. I don't know.
I can just sense your frustration too, and it's the frustration that 50,000 Giants fans had yesterday at MetLife Stadium, who left in the 4th quarter.
Like I do believe that Brian Daboll knows football, and I want to believe that he is being forced to play him. I don't know. I really don't know. If John Mara is demanding Brian Daboll needs to play Daniel Jones, we have a much bigger problem. And maybe John Mara is the problem.
Snorky wants a Joe Milton trade.
Trade for Joe Milton? Could have drafted Joe Milton.
You had 5 rounds to do it, at least?
Yeah. Vasquez says, why would Mara do that? Because John Mara thinks Daniel Jones is good. John Mara is paying Daniel Jones $92 million. Daniel Jones is one of our most popular players. That's what he said about Saquon Barkley. That was his reasoning for wanting to bring him back. John Mara wants to be proven right. And his ego is ruining this. Because there's no one in the world that thinks that Daniel Jones is going to win the Giants game. And it's not even that Smitty, like, someone else gives you a better chance. Mm-hmm. It's the actual fact that if he, let's say, hurts his neck for the 3rd time, or tears ACL again, or pops an Achilles, or has a long-term injury, he is on the books next year for $41 million. That's even more reason to bench him.
Even more.
Because you're not winning games with him.
How does Joe Schoen not realize that? As somebody who controls the finances of this team, I mean, on a player acquisition standpoint. How does Joe Schoen believe that trotting out Daniel Jones is the right idea?
Are they too far gone? Are they too far down the path to turn about? Are they past the point of no return? The answer is no, but they may feel like it.
Pandemonium thinks Daboll is the problem.
What's up, Pandemonium? Marshall, Daboll is the problem. When DJ goes, he needs to go with him. You don't get to sabotage my
bait.
Yeah, I think it's this bait. I think it's this bait. Because there's no way that you actually believe that.
Bush Kid, what up?
Are you saying that it's not Daniel Jones' fault at all? Pandemonium? Are you saying that all the coaches the Giants have had are the problem? All the players the Giants have had, all of the OCs the Giants have had, none of it is Daniel Jones' fault? That's crazy talk. Marsh, fire. Fire them. It's not about what he knows. It's what he has done for you lately. You're fired. If it's what he's done for you lately, he crushed the 2024 draft. I don't know. I think the question you have to ask yourself is if Joe Schoen is the right guy going forward is Joe Schoen going to get this team a franchise quarterback? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yep.
That's all that matters.
If you think Joe Schoen can get this team the franchise quarterback they need to contend, then you keep him.
If you don't, that's the only thing that matters. That is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters. And he gave Daniel Jones $92 million. And and I get it, you're not going to come out and say that was a dumb decision by me. But he double, triple, quad. Man, this guy just won a playoff game. He just went on the road and won a playoff game. When you have to prove yourself that you made the right decision and you don't let the actions of the decision determine if you were right or wrong, you're wrong. Pandemonium, what's up, man? Marsh, Daboll is a joke. He was outcoached in every game except Cleveland, and we won the Seattle game because DJ changed 90% of the calls at the line. I just don't agree, brother. I just don't agree.
He's got an 8 in his profile picture, and it says Jonestown.
Look, I get it. People, for some reason, are fans of him. I actually don't get it. But I don't know. I don't think it makes any sense. Malicious Zero, what's up, homie? $10 super chat. Thank you for the love. 717 people in the building. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 400 likes right now. Make this the biggest stream on Giants YouTube today. If you have liked the video, type me in the comments section.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that one. But
shout out to the Bush Kid. That's my guy.
Kid.
Malicious Zero. We'll get that up on screen. It says, get Daboll a new QB and see how it goes down before thinking about getting rid of Daboll. I like Daboll.
I like Daboll too. I do.
I think Daboll can be a good coach. He was with Daniel Jones.
Took Daniel Jones to the playoffs.
Won a playoff game with Daniel Jones on the road. You can only rig the system for so long. Though.
Yeah.
You can only come up with this offense that is deceptive and fool people for so long. Once there's 18 games of tape on it, people figured it out. So what is he supposed to have? 6 different jerry-rigged offensive game plans to manipulate the game for a talent-deficient quarterback? I don't know. You know why I know Brian Daboll is not the problem, Smitty? He won 3 games with Tommy DeVito.
Yep.
Today, Brian Daboll is not the problem. Brian Daboll had Tommy DeVito throw 8 touchdowns in 6 starts. The last 14 starts for Daniel Jones under Brian Daboll has equaled 8 touchdowns. Brian Daboll is not the problem. Brian Daboll was able to create a functional offense with a UDFA quarterback in their rookie year, where their number 1 receiver was who?
I mean, I don't even know. Like
Isaiah Hodgins?
Yeah.
Not on the team this year. Couldn't make it. Went on Monday Night Football, and he beat the Green Bay Packers. When's the last time Daniel Jones won a football game on Monday or Thursday? Never. He's never done it. And Brian Daboll was able to do it with Tommy DeVito in his rookie year. Brian Daboll is not the problem. Is he a part of the problem? Yeah. But more importantly, I think Brian Daboll's a part of the solution. Whereas Daniel Jones is the problem, and he's not the solution.
And, like, Giants also didn't even win 10 games in their playoff season. Well, 9-7-1.
Crazy.
Dragged Daniel Jones to the playoffs and won a game on the road.
D. Pat says Daboll is not a good CEO. I do think he could be better in that regard. I do think there are things he needs to improve on. He's not perfect. There are not really any perfect coaches in this league. We would all want Kyle Shanahan to be our head coach. He's not perfect. You're stuck in the mud. You're stuck in the mud. How are you going to get out? WDC, do you think if the Giants do trade for Stafford, we should draft Ashton Genty over people like Cam Ward? This is what I would say. I believe Cam Ward is a franchise quarterback. If you fall in love with a quarterback, if you believe that quarterback is a franchise elevator, you do whatever it takes to draft them. It's not the worst idea in the world to trade for Stafford and draft Cam Ward. Cam Ward learns from Stafford for a year. You're not rushed to play him. We've seen a couple quarterbacks who don't get rushed to play, and they're pretty good. Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. I don't mind adding a bridge quarterback and selecting a rookie quarterback. I believe Cam Ward is a stud. I would draft him number 1 overall. Pandemonium, thank you for the super chat, man. Says, no Marsh. DJ has blame, but the job of a head coach is to evaluate his players' play. DJ went to the playoffs with 4-string players. What if I told you that Brian Daboll got Daniel Jones and 4-string players to the playoffs? I think that's got a little bit more ring to it than Daniel Jones did because he threw 15 touchdown passes. OP, $5 super chat. Thank you for the love, man. If you got a comment, you got a question, you got to take, drop it in the comments, brother. Bush Kid, Marsh, Smitty, Joe Kids told him to draft a QB, and he said Jones was a great QB. You're not wrong, brother. You are not wrong. No one's going to have to convince me that Daniel Jones is a good quarterback or a bad quarterback. We're all fed up, or you should be fed up because you deserve better. Corey Hurd, what's up, dog? How many GM coach combinations has Daniel Jones had? And still the same results. DJ is a problem. Watching him play football is uninspiring. That's the perfect word. That's the perfect word. The New York Giants play an uninspiring brand of football with Daniel Jones. They had 47 team passing yards yesterday. Saquon Barkley had a 55-yard run. Your team passed for a net total of 47 passing yards.
It's a joke.
Jalen Hurts did that on one pass. One pass.
Yep. AJB.
Crazy. Pandemonium. What's up, man? Philly just beat Daboll with his own play calling. Only. Brown, Quan, Smith touched the ball that game in Brightwell.
I don't even know what that...
I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what this means. I don't even know what this means, brother. Explain it to me. This profile...
isn't real, though.
Guys, stop amplifying these edgelord troll DJ fans. I don't know what that means either.
He's saying that we should stop giving Pandemonium a platform, I'm saying.
Is that what you're saying? Stop giving Pandemonium a platform?
We welcome all opinions about the New York Giants on this show, even ones that are wrong.
Yeah, look. I don't know. Say Smith, my guy. If Daboll can win Coach of the Year with Jones, keep him. Agreed. Have I agree with everything he's done? No. Do I think he's a perfect head coach? No. Do I think he could be better? Absolutely. Are there things I think he needs to work on? 1,000%. But he's been the best coach the Giants have had since Tom Coughlin, and I hate using that excuse or that reasoning, but the reasoning there just paints a picture of, Smitty, how hard it is to get a good head coach in this league.
Yep. Not everybody's Nick Saban, man.
There's a reason there's a coach carousel every year. I think Brian Daboll can be a part of the solution. And that's what I'm looking for. What's the solution here? Because I can stand up here and gripe and moan and cry and all that about Daniel. Trust me, I can complain about Daniel Jones better than anybody in this world. I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody that complains about Daniel Jones. But I'm in the business of what's the solution now. Because I think after yesterday, there are now 90% of the fan base knows that he is not the solution. So I'm on to what is the solution. That's what I'm on to. Because that's what's important. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Last call to get in on the mailbag. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat to get on today's show. Pandemonium says, come on, Marsh, you watch film. You know what I mean. You should know what I mean. Brother, I couldn't even read your question or your thought with any sort of cohesiveness.
It was not coherent.
Philly just beat Daboll with his own play calling. Only Brown, Quan, Smith touched the ball that game, and Brightwell. Who? So because he gave the ball to 2 running backs and 2 receivers, that's a Brian Daboll offense? Is that what you're trying to say? I just don't understand what you're saying. Like, just reword what you're trying to say, because what you said is just a lot of vowels and letters thrown together. I don't understand. Whatever. Say Smith. Marsh! Is there a world where we fire Joe Schoen, hire Bill as the next GM, keep Daboll at head coach, and draft Cam Ward seriously?
Whoa, that would be like a you-know-what dream for Marshall Green, let me tell you.
I think Bill Belichick, unless I'm wrong, yeah, don't smoke crack in Super Chat. Does Bill Belichick not want to be a head coach anymore? What do you think?
I think
he wants to run the show.
You think he wants to be a GM?
I think he wants to be the GM again, like he was for the Patriots. De facto GM.
And but also
the head coach.
Also the head coach.
I think he wants to go on a revenge tour and say, the Falcons, you picked Raheem Morris over me.
Yeah.
All the coaches that got hired this cycle, you picked them over me. I think that he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I think he wants to say F you to everybody watching. But if there is a coach that he would keep, it is Brian Daboll. Because Bill Belichick said there, I believe there is one coach in this league that could be an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, and he said it was Brian Daboll. They worked together when Daboll was a part of the staff in New England.
I think they could work.
I like Bill Belichick as the head coach more than the general manager, because I do believe that there are question marks about an offense that he could put together. There's a question about his eye for talent in the draft, especially at offensive skill positions. Look, I'm not saying that Bill Belichick is the answer. That is not what I'm saying. I hope nobody has taken that from today's show. I don't know. Look, if you draft Cam Ward, I'll cry tears of happiness, because I believe that guy can fix this organization. OP, what's up, homie? Daboll and Shane did a great job with this draft. Imagine if they were allowed to get a QB. Maybe you're right, but I am choosing to not subscribe to the belief that John Mara is demanding the Giants not do anything at quarterback. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Because I don't want to believe that my head coach is going against what he thinks best for this team. Because I know that Brian Daboll does not believe that playing Daniel Jones is the best thing for this team now and going into the future. Jay Liv, $100 super chat yesterday, Jay Liv. That was awesome, man. Thank you for the birthday love. That's my guy. Corinne says, we miss you too in the chat. Who do we miss? Oh, Rob Jigga. You know who I saw in the YouTube comments world on Knicks Now? You guys are going to love this. The OGs will love this. Crimmy. Crim's dad was in the Knicks chat on a video we put out this morning. Maybe he's just banned Giants Now from his viewing experience. I miss Crimmy. DJ makes Scott Brunner, David Brown, Danny Cannell look like Hall of Famers.
He makes Tim Boyle look like a better quarterback than him because he has more touchdowns in the last 2 years at MetLife.
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
You know Bo Nix has played one game at MetLife Stadium?
One game. He's played 7 games in his NFL career.
Oh, man. Scott Hernan. Yeah, buddy. What up, man? Yeah, buddy. Can't wait for the day. Going to be fire. Can't wait for the day. Can't wait for the day. I'm assuming he means when they move off of Daniel Jones.
I 100% believe that's what he believes.
That's funny. Joshua Hoffman. What's up, Hoffman? Milroe or Shedeur Sanders if you don't draft Ward? I think Shedeur Sanders is a better quarterback. I also think he's a circus. I see the upside of Milroe. I think there's a long way to go there. I really don't love Milroe. I like Milroe. I like the potential upside. But, man, he didn't look good this past week. It's honestly been 2 weeks in a row he's looked bad.
3 weeks in a row.
3?
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row.
Vandy, South Carolina, and now Tennessee. 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I'm a Cam Ward guy. Corey Hurd. And mind you, Cam Ward guy after week 0. We're not new to this. We're true to this. The sun will shine on us again. The sun will shine on us again, Corey Hurd. Preach, brother. Keep building up the defense. Draft a QB. You ain't wrong, family. You ain't wrong. Crimmy should be the Giants QB. I miss Crimmy, man. He brought energy and he made me laugh in the chat. Adonis the A-Train, $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. What's that mean after week 0? Only one game. I only needed to see one game. Meaning, we were first. We were first.
We watched him in Vegas.
We were watching him in Vegas. I saw him make one throw and then watch the rest of the game, and I'm like, that's an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
Tweet's out there. Go find it. Adonis the A-Train. You don't got to apologize, Brody. I will too. Tyrod Taylor is so much better than Daniel Jones.
So much better.
Tyrod Taylor is so much better than Daniel Jones. If the Giants had Tyrod Taylor, they are at minimum 4-3.
Yep.
4-3. Because you would have beat the Commanders because you would have punched it in the red zone one time. Or he may have thrown a deep completion like he did to Slayton for 70 yards, like he did to Slayton the next week for 80 yards. And I think that you beat the Cowboys with Tyrod Taylor, considering you scored 0 touchdowns against the Cowboys. Just my thoughts. Still 500 people watching.
You guys care. That makes us happy.
Walter Inge says, but Tyrod is tissue and the line is still kind of trash. Walter Inge, my question to you would be, would you also consider Daniel Jones not injury prone? The guy that's had 2 major neck injuries, the guy that tore his ACL, the guy that's had to miss games because of ankle injuries. Has Daniel Jones ever played a full season outside of 2022?
I don't think so.
Daniel Jones always gets hurt, Walter. James says, you need to fire the GM and head coach starting QB. Hey, I hear you, James. Oh, man. Last call to get in on the mailbag. We've got a lot of super chats that came in that are Giants applicable. We're going to prioritize the super chats. So if you want to guarantee your spot on the show, you got to super chat to get in on today's mailbag. Giants Now Real Ones are bringing the heat. Shout out to y'all. Dolphin Storm says, how would you feel about signing Chris Godwin next offseason? I'll say this. Dolphin Storm, the Giants have one receiver on this team that I think is a part of the long-term plans. I don't think Wan'Dale Robinson should be a part of the long-term plans. Too limited. Questionable hands, And I don't think that Darius Slayton is a long-term possibility. Jalen Hyatt clearly isn't in the team's long-term plans. So the Giants have another hole. Wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. Maybe Wan'Dale Robinson could be wide receiver 4. But, man, if you're going to be a slot merchant, if you're going to be a guy that just catches the underneath routes, you got to catch some tough third down conversions. And I think that he is just too small. I don't think his catch radius is big enough. He poses no downfield threat. I think the Giants are 2 receivers away. I would trade Darius Slayton tomorrow. I would just. I just don't think that there's a lot of. What sucks is this Giants defense is actually good. I know they gave up 28 points yesterday, but they were gassed. And Brian Burns is hurt, and he's still playing his ass off. Giants offense is a long way away. Long way away. Kelvin, what's up, dog? Thanks for the love. Thanks for being here. Says these people defending Daniel Jones have to be Cowboys or Eagles fans using a backup account because this is absurd. You are totally right. And what I would say to you, Kelvin, and to all the people out there is, you know how I know that we, and it's not even about being right, are right about Daniel Jones being not the solution? Because there are 31 other teams in the NFL. That means there are 31 other fan bases. There is not a fan base in the world outside of the New York Giants that believes Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback. Are you telling me that all other 31 fan bases are wrong and that the 12% of the Giants fans that are DJ blowhards are right? Is that what we're going to do? You're telling me 1% of NFL fans and 99% are wrong, the 1% are right? Is that what we're going to do? We all have friends, I hope, and maybe friends that are fans of other teams. Do your friends of other teams ever say, I wish Daniel Jones was my quarterback? Has anyone ever had that happen?
No.
Because I haven't. I haven't. Like, has anyone ever said that?
Oh, man, I wish we had Daniel Jones.
Man, if we had DJ, we'd be nice.
You Giants fans are lucky.
Again, is it all his fault? No. Is he part of the problem? Yes. Is he part of the solution? No. Kevin Dad, $2 super chat. Marshall, will Darnold be a possibility? If I'm Sam Darnold, I'm trying to stay with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay with the Vikings.
I'll do everything in my power to stay with the Vikings. They've set him up for success.
I don't think so. He was this offseason, but you didn't sign him. Which makes me wonder, maybe that. I would want to know if Drew Lock was a Joe Schoen push or a Brian Daboll push. Like, because if Daboll was saying, go get me Drew Lock, he needs to play. He should play already. But I want to know who thought that Drew Lock was the guy, whether it was Daboll or Schoen. I just would like to know. I would just like to know. And I'm not coming up here and saying that Drew Lock is bad. I think Drew Lock is just as good. I think Drew Lock can produce the same results that Daniel Jones is producing for the Giants this year.
And by that definition alone, you should play him over Daniel Jones because of the injury guarantee money that Daniel Jones has.
I believe that Drew Lock can run an offense, Smitty, that averages 14.1 points per game. I believe Drew Lock can run an offense that averages 14 points per game.
Now, that brings up this question, which I actually think is decent by Pandemonium, who has been kind of in the bag of Daniel Jones, kind of been defending Daniel Jones all day. He says, do you think the play calling is different when DeVito and Tyrod are playing?
Yes.
I think so as well.
I think the play calling when Tyrod Taylor was in the game is we are going to have a downfield passing attack. I think DeVito and Daniel Jones ran a similar offense. Dink and dunk, get the ball out quick, hit your first read on time and on target, work out of the quick game. But I thought it was pretty obvious that Tyrod Taylor threw the ball downfield last year. 80-yard touchdown to Darius Slayton. 70-yard touchdown to Darius Slayton. What about Jalen Hyatt against the Patriots? Catching balls downfield. I think that Brian Daboll knows that there are limitations to his playbook because of Daniel Jones. Because he's tried to have no limitations. And it does not work. We got a 3-point goal. Michael Pinto. Bang! Give me some MPs in the chat. Show Michael some love. Our first bang of the day. Michael, we appreciate you, my man. The fact you're here, the fact you're showing love like this, man, that's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Says if Bill Belichick comes back as a head coach, do you run the risk of him going to a team like Dallas if they fire McCarthy and having to go against him twice a year? Do you think Daboll is good enough to risk that? Does it even factor into the process? It's a really good question. Because I do believe that that Bill Belichick is on the short list of Mike McCarthy replacements in Dallas. And I don't love the idea of playing against him twice a year, Michael. And I know older Giants fans may not be able to stomach the fact that Bill Belichick, once a Giants legend, is then coaching the Cowboys a la Bill Parcells. But the question just becomes to me, Michael, is Brian Daboll the best guy for the job? It doesn't matter who else, and it does matter in a way who else is out there because that factors into your decision making if he is the best player for the best coach for the job. The only question you ask yourself is Brian Daboll the best guy for the job? Brian Daboll or Bill Belichick as head coach for the Giants next year? Who do you want?
It'd be tough not to go with Belichick, but I saw Brian Daboll take Daniel Jones, and according to Pandemonium, 4 stringers to the playoffs. I think I'd take Brian Daboll. I think the timeline with Bill Belichick that you get is, are you getting 5 out of Bill Belichick? Getting 5 years, 5 seasons? Like you're trying to build a culture, trying to build continuity in the New York Giants right now. Is Bill Belichick to promote continuity at this point in his football career?
100% agree. Does it even factor into the process? Yes, because you want the coach that's the best guy for the job. And if Bill Belichick is available, that means the guy you hire needs to be better than him. I'm not so sure, though, that him going to Dallas quite necessarily affects my decision-making. But I do think of it. I don't know. This is a really good question, and it's a tough answer for me. What I will say is this.
You're going to get another opportunity to answer in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think that Brian Daboll can be a head coach of a football team that is consistently in the playoffs. I worry about Bill Belichick without Tom Brady. I worry about Bill Belichick's hires at offensive coordinator without Tom Brady. Is Josh McDaniels then going to be the offensive coordinator for the Giants?
Matt Patricia coming in to run the D?
Yeah, like are we just going to be once again a Patriots retread? I don't think the worst thing in the world is to have Bill Belichick as your head coach. There are plenty other worse options. The question is, there a better option? And I would say today, October 21st, Michael, I think that Brian Daboll is a better option slightly than Bill Belichick as the head coach for the New York Giants. Kind of a long answer there. It would hurt to see Bill Belichick go to the Cowboys and be really good, though. I also don't believe that Bill Belichick would come to the Giants unless he gets to A, pick the GM, or B, is the GM. He just ripped Joe Schoen. You think he's going to be the head coach for Joe Schoen?
It's true.
Can you tell someone to bring my laptop charger in here?
Sure.
Laptop just died. Pandemonium, one more. How about, as of today, New York wide receivers are 3rd in the league with drops?
Throw better balls, Daniel. Throw a more catchable ball.
Pandemonium, my question to you would be this. Was that a drop by Darius Slayton yesterday? Look, there are more problems than Daniel Jones on this team. But he is the biggest problem. And I believe that other people on this team could be a part of the solution. I don't know. It comes back to this for me. Can he overcome adversity one time? Can he overcome the drops? He can't generate explosive plays, so no, he can't overcome anything. Everything has to be a long, drag it out, 15-play drive, no explosion. Never. Dan, what up, man? $5 super chat. What's up, brother? Says, if we don't have a high enough draft pick to get Ward within 4 or 5 spots, would you trade multiple firsts to move up and get him? Yeah, because I think he's a franchise quarterback. And I think at the end of the day, Smitty, you do whatever it takes to go land a guy like that.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's Cam Ward. It doesn't matter if it's XYZ. It doesn't matter what the quarterback is. If you deem someone as a franchise quarterback, it is worth doing whatever it takes to go get him. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Eric, what's up, man? Run it back with the staff and go all in for Arch.
Go all in for Arch means you would be tanking next season. Or would it? I don't know. Based on what we saw.
I didn't think Arch looked good against Georgia. I have questions about Arch's arm strength. I don't think he has an NFL arm. Just watch the way the ball flies out of Quinn Ewers' hands in that game, and then go watch the throw where he tries to throw the deep over route and he skips it Daniel Jones style.
Nick Malone here with a $10 super chat kind of thinks the same thing.
Thoughts on drafting that running back from Boise State, trading Jones for a great vet lineman, or draft pick, signing vet QB to get us through the year before drafting Archie Manning in 2026?
What value do you think that Daniel Jones would hold in a trade?
It's a great question. What team is trading for Daniel Jones?
What team is trading for Daniel Jones and giving you an asset back?
To take on that contract.
Yeah. Come on.
Also, why are we drafting a running back in the first round when we think we hit on one in the 5th round in Tyrone Tracy? Didn't we just learn that the New York Giants don't value using strong assets on the running back position? They didn't want to pay Saquon Barkley. So we didn't, and this has nothing to do with Genty. This is a little crazy to me, Nick, and I say that in the most respectful way possible. Nobody's trading for Daniel Jones. What vet QB are you signing? We've gone through the list. There's not really any veteran QBs available. And why are we so sure that Arch Manning is going to be a great pro? We haven't even seen him play a full college season. I don't know. So my answer to that is no. What I would do is cut Daniel Jones, see how much it costs to trade for Matt Stafford, and then do everything you can to go get Cam Ward. That's my plan.
Mike F.
Mike, my dog, what's up, homie? He says, I want to see Daboll with a competent quarterback. Would you be willing to see him with a vet and draft a rookie over blowing it up? At both. Yes. Like, if Matt Stafford is available, which Jeremy Fowler talked about, Pro Football Type Mike Florio talked about, I would go trade for Matt Stafford. The only thing is, I don't see another veteran quarterback that could be moved. I've looked at them all. And the free agent quarterbacks in 2025 aren't that good. I'll pull up the list. Like, they're just not that good as we load up here. Sam Darnold. He's staying a Viking.
Yep.
Are we going to go out and sign Zach Wilson?
No.
Trey Lance?
No.
Jacoby Brissett?
No.
Taylor Heineke?
Absolutely not.
Marcus Mariota?
Nope.
Drew Lock?
You already
It
have
would be
him.
crazy if you let him play, and then maybe he could be the bridge quarterback if you find out, but no. Jarrett Stidham?
Nope.
Andy Dalton?
No, he's 40.
Justin Fields?
I mean, maybe.
Joe Flacco?
40.
Jameis Winston?
No.
Mac Jones?
No.
Carson Wentz?
No.
Jimmy G?
No.
Case Keenum?
No.
Mason Rudolph?
No.
Easton
absolutely
Stick?
No.
Cooper Rush,
No.
Joshua Dobbs,
Come on.
Brandon Allen,
Be for real.
Nick Mullins,
No
Kyle
way.
Trask,
Absolutely
Josh
not.
Johnson, Kyle Allen, Russell Wilson. I don't hate Russell Wilson.
Hey, Russell.
Jeff Driscoll, Brett
You see-
Rippon, Shane Buechele, Sam Ellinger, Tommy DeVito.
Did you watch how Russell Wilson played with the Steelers last night? Steelers probably want to keep Russell Wilson.
Those are the franchise quarterbacks. Excuse me, those are the free agent quarterbacks this summer. Spring is the better word.
OP.
Maybe, Mike says Flacco, maybe. Flacco for 10 games and draft a rookie. Maybe. We're down bad.
We're down real bad.
We're down bad. OP. Pandemonium is probably Daniel Jones. I don't know. I wish Pandemonium could.
See the light. A little bit.
Explain himself better as to why he believes that. Pandemonium, do you think that Daniel Jones can win a Super Bowl? That's my question to you.
Sugar Boy.
What's up, dog? $10 super chat. Thanks for the love, homie. Joe and Daboll think they are smarter than everyone. It's crazy. Sit Daniel, trade Slayton, play your young wideouts to see what you have before we land a QB. Well, now Jalen Hyatt is hurt. He's got a broken rib. I don't know if he's going to miss time. I don't know if he'll have to miss time because he doesn't play anyways. But, yeah, I do think Joe Schoen suffers from I'm the smartest in the room syndrome. And I have learned in life you only get smarter if you listen. But it's also probably a mindset you need to have to get a job like that. But there have been plenty of decisions he has made that are not the right ones. That's for sure. But I also think he has made some good decisions. But it is crazy. You are 100% right. Sit Daniel Jones. Trade Darius Slayton. See what you have in lock. That's it. And that's it. Just do that. Just do it. And if someone wants to give you a second for Azeez Ojulari, do it. If someone wants to give you a third for Azeez Ojulari, do it. Unless you have every intention in the world of re-signing Azeez Ojulari, which I'm not sure they do. Say Smith, what up, dog? Say we trade Slayton and get a 4th-round pick or higher. Would you want to save the pick for the draft or try to work magic like the Burns trade? If so, who? One, I don't think you're getting a 4th-round pick for Darius Slayton because Amari Cooper just went for a 3rd and Devontae Adams just went for a 3rd. And Darius Slayton is not in the same universe as those two receivers. I think you might be lucky to get a 6th-round pick for Darius Slayton. So, but I'll play the game. Say we get a 4th-round pick. If you can get a guaranteed starter for a 4th-round pick, I would do it because you have a lot of cap space next year. You're going to cut Daniel Jones, save $20 million. But you could also you could use it to trade up. Like a 4th-round pick isn't really moving the needle for a team to trade up to go get a QB. You know what I'm saying? Look, I would trade Slayton today. I don't think he should be a part of your long-term plans. Just my opinion. My opinion of watching this football team be anemic at scoring touchdowns ever since he got here and ever since his butt buddy got here. Kevin Dad, $2 super chat. Thanks for the love, Kevin. Shout out to everybody in the building. 475 people still watching. 100+ minutes into the stream. If you could, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's get to 500 likes. It'd be the most on a stream this year, not on game day. PSN, LLC, Marshall. Hope you had a great birthday. I did. I felt a lot of love from y'all. Unfortunate to see the Giants lose like that, but man, I got to hang out with all the real ones. PSN, my question to you. I know you're a big-time DeVito fan. Do you think DeVito is better than Locke? Let me know in the comments. Kevin Dad, thank you, Brody. Instead of a 2nd for Azeez, how about a 1st for Kayvon Thibodeau?
Is Kayvon 100% getting you a 1st?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's getting you a 2nd.
I don't think a team would give you a second for Aziz, and I don't think a team would give you a first for Thibodeau. Maybe the Lions would give you a first for Thibodeau right now, but Thibodeau's hurt. Thibodeau's hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting a first for Kayvon Thibodeau.
I don't think you are.
Did Buddy answer my question of if he thinks Daniel Jones can win a Super Bowl? Pandemonium?
Pandemonium.
And he left the chat.
Oh, no.
PSN says, I think they should split the time. I honestly don't know Locke well enough. Gotcha.
No way. Did we miss? I don't get this guy's super chat anymore. Or this guy's super chat anymore. I love this question.
Nick, what up, dog? $10 super chat back again. Second one of the day. Shout out to Nick. Sorry if I misconstrued your question. Sometimes hard over written word while I'm speaking. But he says, my point wasn't necessarily whether Jones has trade value, just how to get a stand-in. We draft Gentry, maybe finally see a dynamic offense against Saquon and Beckham, then get best available QB in 2026. I get what you're saying. Adding a player like Gentry and building up the roster for a rookie in 2026. I get that. I just think there's more holes on this team than running back, like defensive tackle 2, wide receiver, right guard. Corner. I just think there's a bigger need at primary positions than running back. You're also on the books for Singletary next year, and you just drafted Tracy. So I think wasting's not the right word because Gentry's a good playing, but I think it would be a misuse of limited assets to draft a running back in the first round when you already have 2 guys you like on the team. Obviously, you signed him to a 3-year deal, and they like Tracy, to then double and triple down on another running back in the first round when you need another wide receiver 2, when you need another offensive lineman, when you need another defensive tackle, when you need a corner. You don't even have a corner anymore. Deonte Banks isn't CB1. So that's kind of my thoughts on that, Nick. But yeah, I don't mind at all adding explosive players to build up the roster at all. I don't mind that. I just don't think it should be a running back in the first round. Mike F., what up, dog? Happy belated March. Tell Mama Mike I said happy birthday. Real ones share the same day. That's love. Mike, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the love, man. It was cool hanging out with everybody yesterday, watching the Giants, feeling the love from y'all. I just wish they were a little bit better. I do believe, though, in my heart of hearts that the Giants are on the right track. I do believe that. You need Andrew Thomas to be healthy, though. To quote Colin Cowherd, I think the Giants have the bones. I think they got the bones of the skeleton. Left tackle, right tackle, star receiver, 2 elite defensive linemen, a young guy that's got potential in Kayvon Thibodeau. You got some bones of the skeleton. You just might be missing the heart, and that's the quarterback. DM Forever, $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. Says, can the NFL flex our primetime games to buys? Oh, DM Forever. Imagine I have to stand up here in front of 100,000 people every week and watch your team on primetime. Greg says, did you feel okay after that last boot? Yeah, felt so good after that. I only went home and went right to bed. I was cooked. It was worth it. It was my birthday. You can go all overboard on your birthday. Eddie says this is not basketball. Goody says trade for Justin Fields. Reese says, need a champion. Kren says it was a great stream. I think we did the best we could given the situation. I did not know that, GTS. Chad says no more Duke players. DM Forever says, how many times do we watch opposing teams yuck it up on the sideline? Kevin says, tank the rest of the season. Just keep playing like you've been playing. No need to take. Joel says, obviously we want a QB in the first round, but what do we want in the second or third? I think the biggest needs are offensive line, your right guard. Greg Van Roten will not be on this team next year. Another wide receiver, another corner, and another defensive tackle that can play next to Dexter Lawrence. Max, sus, man. $5 super chat. What up, Max? It says, no shot Shane and Daboll keep their jobs with DJ under center. They got to sell Mara on a draft or free agent plan to not get fired, right? Max, they need to sell John Mara that they can find the right quarterback, identify the right quarterback, draft the right quarterback, develop the right quarterback, and build a team around the right quarterback. That's the 4-step plan that Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen need to present to John Mara, in my opinion, to keep their job. 4-step plan. Identify. Prove to me that you can identify the right guy. Prove to me that you can go get the right guy. Prove to me that you could develop the right guy. And prove to me that you could build a roster around the right guy. That's what I think that they need to be worried about. And maybe, just maybe, he's showing his owner that it's not me. It's him. DM Forever. Can the NFL flex our primetime games to buys? I wish. PSN LLC. My man, $3 super chat. That's love. That's love. Shout to PSN. He's lost all questions. How does it? There's a limit. There's been a lot of super chats today. Shout out to y'all. Nah, we don't gotta do a mailbag. We've been answering questions all day. Yeah. Find something else to do for Saturday. PSN says just working in the background. You guys keep me going. You guys keep me going. You guys keep me going, man.
Dude, shout out to y'all. We've been having a Giants conversation for almost 2 hours.
Literally just talking about the Giants. Answering questions.
That's bad props to you guys. Well, this is why we get jacked up to go live on this channel. Because you guys bring it every single time.
We will stay live as long as the super chats with questions continue to roll in. We've been live for an hour and 50 minutes. We've been at work since 9 a.m. As long as people are asking questions and want the show to go on, I'll be here. But we have been at work a while. I love you guys. I love you guys. DM Forever says Daboll needed a backup QB for a spark. Does that not tell you everything? Greg says, well, I missed last Monday's live chat. Yeah. Cha says the broken foot Thomas has might end it for Thomas. Very serious injury and 100% arthritis expected.
Oh, boy.
I hope that
wasn't a good thing.
Yeah, I hope that's just not true. Hopefully
Mr.
that's
Rick
just
said
not
that?
true.
Oh, no.
Thomas says full rebuild.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, Thomas, what does that mean, full rebuild? What does that mean? Talk to me, Thomas. What does that mean?
He's like, I don't know. Come on. Love the super chat decided to pull up. There we go. Robert Perry with a $5 super chat.
Robert Perry. What's up, dog? Is that what?
I don't think Tommy DeVito is a better QB than Locke, but he gives the team juice. The team will keep their energy up. Thoughts?
Why do you think that, Robert?
He's basically saying Tommy DeVito brings the boom, but we also haven't seen Drew Lock bring the boom yet for the Giants. I think that the Giants players can rally around Drew Lock. I watched a lot of Seahawks football last year over on our Seahawks channel, and I watched Drew Lock march down the field 90 yards on Monday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles. In Philadelphia, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Or no.
Seattle.
In Seattle, whatever. But 90 yards. Has Daniel Jones ever put together a 90-yard game-winning drive?
Has Daniel Jones ever won a football game not on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Monday was already the deal breaker for Daniel Jones. Couldn't even get past the day of the week the game was on.
Robert, I get it. Local kid, Don Bosco,
Wireman.
Gabagoo.
Yep. Also, has thrown the same amount of touchdowns as Daniel Jones in his all of his starts. Daniel Jones' last 14 games. That part does make it enticing. Did win games last year with the Giants, and I understand that that's what it's comfortable for Giants fans to want Tommy DeVito over Drew Lock because they haven't seen Drew Lock.
I felt like a gimmick with Tommy DeVito out there.
Like the agent with the fedora, and we're doing all that nonsense again.
Can we give Drew Lock a chance? What if Hyatt catches that pass yesterday? What are people saying?
Start Lock. 100%.
Just because he dropped it. It would have been a really tough catch.
And it was a little bit far out in front, but he put it in the right spot. Put it where the defender couldn't get it and the receiver could touch it. Hits it in both hands.
If Hyatt hauls that in, I think the tone, such the quick trigger on bashing Locke, I just don't get it. We haven't seen him play.
The front office thought he was good enough to bring in this season to be the backup, to be the QB2 over Tommy DeVito. That's what they think of him. They may be incorrect.
That guy came cold off the bench in the fourth quarter, down 28-3. Serious question: what spark was Brian Daboll looking for? Game was over. The game was over. I don't know.
Like, Drew Lock comes in cold off the bench. Ball just looks like it's coming out better. Than
He has such a stronger arm than Daniel Jones. The ball popped out of his hands.
It looks like it's coming out quick. Like, just a throwing motion. Just that split second that Daniel Jones has the ball longer in his hand.
Daniel Jones yesterday got pressured 14 times. He was sacked 7 times. That means his pressure to sack percentage
50%.
was 50%.
For the people who don't follow pressure to sack rate very well, that's pretty bad, right?
That would be the number one in the NFL by 20%. Maybe even 30%. Maybe even 30%. I also think that quarterback play can help your offensive line. I also think quarterback play can lower drops. Because it's really hard as a receiver to be running full speed this way, and you're expecting the ball here, and the ball's here. Or you're running this way, and you're expecting the ball here, but you got to go like this last second.
Which Darius Slayton had to do yesterday.
Yep. I don't know. I do know. He's the problem.
He sucks.
And he's not the solution. Max Sussman said it here after the Commies lost. Tank 2 for Arch.
Can't do that. We already talked about Arch. You watched the game against Georgia. I know he came in off the bench, but that team was looking for a spark. He didn't give it to him. Didn't have the arm talent to do so. Ryan Brogan with a 2. Save us, Cam Ward. You're our only hope. Shout out to 845. Yo, great 4-5. What up, Ryan?
Where, for the kids that don't know at home, where's that?
845 Hudson Valley, Orange County area. Could be some of Dutchess as well. Just along the Hudson River, about an hour north of New York City is where you'll find the 845. My hometown, Goshen. Where are you from, Ryan? Let me know.
Young to hot boy, what are the chances of a Yankees chat sports party? Rumor has it they're going to be doing watch parties on our main chat sports channel. To be completely honest with you guys, as much as I would love to do the watch parties, I already have no life as I do Giants games on Sundays. And with the Knicks season coming up, I also do Knicks watch parties. So it's hard for me to do watch parties for the Giants, Knicks, and Yankees in the same week. I'd love to. And maybe we figure out a way to make it happen. But man, there might not just be enough hours in a week for me. He said, wait, you're from Goshen?
Yeah. G-Town, what up? Hyde Park, okay. Grew up in East Fishkill. I used to go to my eye doctor in Fishkill.
Kevin also says, wait, you're from Goshen.
Oh, yeah.
He says he's from Monroe.
Oh, Monroe, my father's hometown, Monroe Woodbury. Shout out to the 845. Shout out to the OC. Let's go, baby. Razor Shockwave with a 10.
Shockwave. What's up, Brody? Hey, Marsh. Happy late birthday. Thank you, man. Just a quick question. Who's your top 10 college football watch list? Mine keeps changing. Looking at Nussmeier right now. I'm done with 8. I'm tired of watching the G-Men. Yankees win.
Did you hear John Sterling's call? It was kind of electric.
No, I didn't see
good.
it. Can I get a
I was gonna say,
Smitty version of it?
Oh, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I want to see.
Rob Jigga, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Let's see, I might be able to play it. Oh yeah. This is when the Yankees end. This is the Yankees win the game. Hopefully this thing will play. World Series doesn't start till Friday. Give me a little juice. I need. That's too long of a break.
Friday?
Yeah.
Why are we taking a whole week off?
I know.
I mean, Cole on the bump game 1.
Yeah.
Who's their ace? Yamamoto? Has he been good?
No, he's been a little shaky.
Who's got home field advantage?
Dodgers. Yankees' first home game is Monday, when the Giants are getting beat up by the Steelers. We have to watch Daniel Jones get sacked by T.J. Watt instead of watching Juan Soto and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton knock baseballs around. Here's John Sterling.
Be a 1-2. Careful. On a high fly to right. Soto is there. Juan Soto makes the catch. Ball game over. American League Championship Series over.
God.
Yankees win.
Get that out of here, dude. Yankees win!
American League Series over. The World Series is here. The Yankees win.
Giants
go.
save celebration TD fireworks money with Daniel Jones. We haven't seen fireworks in years. That is true.
That's
That
hilarious.
is true.
Oh man. DM forever. This is one of the funniest super chats of the day.
I think he leads the NFL in targets,
he does. He's a great fantasy player.
and he's 44th in yards.
Yes. Wandale's going off next week. 7 for 34.
That was funny, bro.
That's a geek.
On 12 targets with 2 drops. Damn, dog. This is tough.
Michael Pinto, you think it'll be Jack Flaherty, not Yamamoto?
Wandale Robinson's second in the NFL in targets. 67 targets.
What is he in yards?
I've had to click next page 2 times and it hasn't got there. It doesn't look like he's top 50.
Oh my God, stop it.
Doesn't look like he has 303 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It says 19th.
19th?
Doesn't sound right.
That can't be.
That does not seem right.
7 weeks in. And
Oh, it's definitely, that's not right. I keep on clicking next page, and what it does is it removes the prior people. Also, it doesn't have the number by the rank of the people, which is pretty stupid. Let's see. Okay, here we go. He is second in targets, while he is
He's 45th.
45th in yards.
45th in yards.
Second in targets, 45th
5th
in
in
yards.
catches.
5th in catches, 45th in yards.
What is he in yards per reception? It's got to be something atrocious. Wandale Robinson. What do you think he is yards per catch?
I don't know, but he's
Don't look.
he's 4.5 yards per target.
7 yards a catch.
4.5 yards per target, 7 yards a catch.
What do you think he is in yards per catch?
Like rank?
Yeah. 'Cause I have it.
88th.
124.
Oh, that's a doom.
A doom. A doom.
That's a doom.
Ooh, what is he in yards per target? 128. That is atrocious. Ooh, interesting. Garrett Wilson.
He's killing the targets.
He is killing he's number 1 on the targets.
Number 1 targets.
But he only has 6.1 yards per target. But I guess he has so many. I don't know. Wait. This is Wandale Robinson's second in the NFL in targets.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Garrett Wilson's first.
Yes.
Wilson first, Wandale second.
Yeah, Drake London third, DK 4.
Wild.
Malik Neighbors 6. He didn't even play for 2 weeks.
He's open. Robert Perry, $5 super chat. Shout to you, Robert. I feel the league's mind maybe made up about Locke. Did we hit Tommy's ceiling? Yeah, I would say the league has their mind made up about Drew Lock. Got a $5 million contract. you are worth what someone is willing to pay. And maybe he is what he is as a player, but I believe that he could at least score 14 points per game. I'll do you one better. I think that if Drew Lock started the next 2 games, he could score more than 10 points combined. Because that's what Daniel Jones and the Giants did the last 2 weeks.
Against not good defenses, by the way.
And when they scored 7 points, it was with Andrew Thomas at left tackle. And they didn't even really score a touchdown. They threw a fade in the end zone. They got the ball at the 1 yard line. They punched it in.
Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns scored 16 against the Philadelphia Eagles the week prior, I'm pretty sure. So one of the teams you beat this season scored more points than the Eagles than you did.
You can't be worse with Drew Lock. You can be better. But you also won't be out $25 million with Drew Lock. You will with Daniel Jones if he gets hurt. Nick, what's up, bro? Thanks for the love today, homie. If the Giants snag T. Higgins and Quentin Nelson in 2025, boosting offense, who should they draft in round 1 for ultimate balance? A defender, lineman, or another playmaker, but then who at QB? If you're telling me the Giants can add T. Higgins and Quentin Nelson, I am doing everything I can to get Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Everything I can to get Cam Ward. If T. Higgins and Quentin Nelson are free agent guys the Giants can sign, I'm going all in on Cam Ward. If the quarterback is gone, I may draft a corner in round 1, and then I trade for Matt Stafford.
Yeah. That's it.
That's what I would do. Joshua Hoffman. I like Shador, but his dad controls. Yeah, I don't want the Shador Sanders circus in New York.
Yeah.
Not interested. We are already a circus. We are already a clown show. People are trying to tear down Malik Neighbors already. What do you think they're going to do to Shador Sanders?
The Cardinals-Chargers game's at 9 o'clock Eastern. That's insane.
Not good. If you don't care about the offensive line falling apart, then you don't realize all the third down sacks caused by the line, not DJ. What does that mean, Ronald?
Why do you think teams, especially yesterday, like the Eagles, we saw it on third down, send the house on Daniel Jones? Because they don't believe that he can get the ball out quick, process what needs to be processed, and hit a receiver under pressure.
How about all the drop passes by Wandale on third down? Four-door sleeper, do you think Daniel Jones is a part of the solution?
Could add Baker Mayfield. You're absolutely right.
Could add Baker Mayfield for nothing. He says, it helps me, wide receiver, catch the ball. Okay, and I think that is that. We dropped too many passes. Nope, too many drops this year for sure. That is a fact. Too many drops.
Shouldn't even give attention to people that can't formulate a sentence.
Yeah. We'll end it with this. We will end it with this. For all the people that are now blaming the wide receivers on Daniel Jones. You know how you make up for drops, Smitty?
You probably get a better quarterback.
Yeah, that for sure. But you know how you make up for negative plays? You create explosive plays.
Yeah.
Okay. Daniel Jones is 5 of 22 on passes that have traveled
The Giants
20
didn't have
plus yards this year.
who cares about percentages? The Giants didn't have a play go for 15 yards yesterday.
Or last week.
Or last week. 2 weeks in a row. Who's done that? Has anybody ever done that? 15 yards is all you need. That's not even 2 first downs.
Daniel Jones is completing 22% of his passes that travel 20 yards in the air. He's completing 55% of his passes that travel 10 to 19 yards.
Oh, this is how we should end this.
Gustavo. You know what chaps my ass? I put more effort getting ready to prepare food and find parking to the game than the results they give at MetLife Stadium. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'm not going back. Gustavo, I am sorry that is the product that you have put your hard-earned time, money, and energy into an organization that does not care about you. You deserve better. Giants fans deserve better. And I am sorry, Gustavo, that you have to deal with that. Because you are 100% right. You are 100% right, Gustavo. Mr. Rick, who I am sure is still watching this show, will echo that. It is unfair to the people that support this team in the manner that they do, that they have to continue to be force-fed the same product going on 5+ seasons. Kevin says, me too. Kevin, I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
Trucker with a 2 says, hi, Louis Riddick is our GM.
I would probably pass on Louis Riddick. I don't want to go down the road of another new GM.
Yeah.
I want a proven guy. But I'm also not all the way out on Joe Schoen. And we have a video coming out on the channel, Trucker, tomorrow with an in-depth breakdown. We did it on today's live show. You can scroll back and watch it. Probably happened in the first 30 minutes of the video. We went through a lot of the decisions he made. Some right, some wrong, some good, some bad. But overall, I think the question you have to ask yourself when it comes to firing Joe Schoen is, do you think he can identify the right quarterback, implement a plan to get the right quarterback, develop the right quarterback, and build a roster around the right quarterback? If any of those answers are no, you move on. That's kind of where I'm at on that. All righty, we're going to sign off on today's show. We've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. The #1 most watched live show of the season. Shout out to every single person in the building. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon on your way out. It's free. Support the show, support the sponsor, and keep on bringing the boom. It's what they do. Seriously, I love you guys. Let's go Big Blue.